Hello, it's week 26 of season 7 of the Andy Griffith Show. This week's episode title is Opie's Piano Lesson. Andy wants Opie to start taking piano lessons from Clara Edwards, 'cause Clara just had a start for our new student open up. And Andy says no. Opie's interested in toy things, like football and fishing, and I don't want to force him to practice. And they argue about it, and then they agree to ask Opie what he wants. And he says yes, he does want to take piano lessons. And Andy makes him promise to give up all his other activities and stay at the piano and practice. So soon Clara shows up to give Opie's first lesson on the Taylor's piano. And she teaches the notes and the proper method of striking the keys. And after the lesson, she says he needs to practice 2 hours a day right after school. But the next day at school, the principal has a surprise for the boys. He introduces Flip Conroy, a pro football player who grew up in Mayberry, but he left before the boys were born to play college and pro football. And now he's come back to Mayberry to work in his father's business, and he's offered to help coach the boys' football team. But he says they're going to have to practice 2 hours a day after school, and Opie's the quarterback. So Opie tries to get his his dad to postpone the piano lessons for a month, saying Miss Edwards said his fingers need to get limber. And he says he could use a month to stretch them and to get them limber before starting the lessons. But his paw don't fall for that. He says he thinks the best way for Opie to get his fingers limber is to practice the piano. So that day he practices for 2 hours, and then he's 2 hours late to football practice. And the coach says, "I'll let it go this time, but you better be here at 4 o'clock tomorrow." So the next day, Opie tries to convince his teacher, Miss Edwards, and his lesson that he shouldn't be playing on a piano which is out of tune, since she had told Aunt Bee earlier it needed tuning. But she don't fall for that either. So it's already 4:30, and she tells Opie to practice now until 5:30, now that his lesson's over. But some boys from the football team come over as she's leaving, and they deliver a message from the coach saying if Opie doesn't come to practice right now, he's off the team. And Aunt Bee is next door, working on a quilt with a neighbor, and she can hear whether or not Opie is practicing. But Arnold, the manager of the team, offers to practice for Opie, since he took lessons from Miss Edwards too. And he says Aunt Bee will think it's Opie practicing, and Opie can go to football practice, and he can tell his pa about it tonight. So Opie says okay, but Arnold plays a lot better than Opie. So Aunt Bee says she's going to go home and compliment him, still thinking it's Opie playing. But first, Andy comes home, and he finds Arnold playing. And Arnold gets nervous about giving Andy the full explanation, so after he hems and haws for a while, and after Aunt Bee comes home, Andy tells Arnold just to go get Opie. And when Opie comes home, he tries to rationalize to his dad that it wasn't wrong, what he did, because he was going to tell him about it tonight. And Andy says it was still wrong. And then Opie tries to say ta-ta, it was Flip Conroy coaching us. And Andy says that don't matter either. You will practice that piano from 3:30 to 5:30 every day. And then Flip Conroy comes over, 'cause he heard about the piano conflict with football practice. And Andy says to him, I was just telling Opie you can't do 2 things at the same time and do either one of them right. But Mr. Conroy says that's not always true. And the truth is point, he sits down at the piano and he plays beautifully. So they agree to let Opie play football after school and then practice piano first thing in the morning before school. And the next morning, Opie's playing wakes up his pa at 6 o'clock. We'll see you next week for episode 28.